So usually I start out these videos with something funny or silly or cute. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to give an update on what has happened. So the cosplay contest that I entered, I did not get into. And I was really sad about it, but I'm gonna not be sad because that doesn't make me a bad cosplayer or anything. It was just a really hard contest to get into. Anyway, I digress. We're still gonna finish the costume no matter what. So let's get on with the video. Hi, hello, and welcome to the Fluffy Tail household where there's nothing but good fuzzy vibes here. So we're starting on the last part of this cosplay, the finale, finally. Oh my gosh, part 6. So what are we gonna do in this part? We're gonna focus on the boot covers, the wings, and the sword. I think I'm going to do the boot covers first. That just seems more likely. For the boot covers, just a heads up, for the boot covers, I'm not going to do heels. I was going to originally buy heels, and I was just thinking about it. I know I'm not going to be comfortable, and honestly, I'm going to sacrifice a bit of the look just for comfortability. I am older, my feet hurt, I work 2 jobs. I already have shoes. They're kind of like sneaker, like little tennis shoes I've had for like ever. I'm just going to use those and make the boot cover out of that. So let's get started. Okay, this is take 3. Literally, I was trying saran wrap. I was trying I don't know why this pattern is being so difficult. I don't know, and this cling wrap that I got, it's not clinging to each other, so I'm like, I'm just gonna do direct duct tape. This duct tape isn't even that sticky, so I'm not worried about peeling it off my skin or anything. Yeah, we're just gonna go with that. This into perspective. This is not working at all. No matter what I tried, is not working. This does happen in cosplay. If you have an idea and you want it to work so badly and you're trying everything for it to work so badly and it just doesn't work, go with another plan. So my other plan, I don't have any stretchy fabric. I think I'm going to go to Spirit. Right now it's actually October, so I am going to try to go to Spirit Halloween. I'm going to try to find like a stretchy sock material or some stretchy, I don't know, something that maybe matches this. And I might just use my Mary Janes and just go from there. And so like whatever I can on this part. That's the only solution I can think of. Right now, I'm just really disappointed and frustrated that this did not work despite all my attempts. I should have known from the get-go. Even the duct tape pattern was not working. Yeah. So anyway, this did not work. That is okay. I'm just gonna move on and go work on the wings, something that is less frustrating. Alrighty, moving on. So I have this styrofoam board. I think this is perfect. It is the lightweight, and honestly, I think it would look really good with the wings. I don't think they would break or anything. I am gonna layer 2 pieces of foam around it, at least to give it a little bit of structure, but it should be good. Now I'm gonna look for the magnet within my garment. I can feel it right there. So I'm gonna mark it. And then I'm gonna mark kind of where the middle of my garment is, right here. So from there, I'm just gonna start drawing a wing according to her wings. And again, I don't want to take up too much of this styrofoam. I just want 1 wing and 1 wing, and that should be good. So yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, if we're looking at the wing, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks really good, honestly. It's a decent size. I didn't want them too big because her wings aren't huge, and I don't want to be walking around with big wings. So I think this is perfect. I know it doesn't really look like a wing, but when all the feathers are on it and it's all zhuzhed up, yeah, it's gonna look really good. Looks like a bird of some exotic sort, but it's not. I think they look really good. They're really lightweight, which is the nice thing, that they're so light. Anyway, so what's gonna happen now with these? I am going to paint them black. Like My Chemical Romance always says, paint it black. So I'm gonna paint them black. And then I'm gonna put a magnet right here. So I'll cut into it in a bit. I'm gonna paint it all black first though, and then we'll do that part in a little bit because I don't want to cut all the way through. That is the one thing. I don't want to cut all the way through because the magnet needs a little bit of structure to sit on in order for me to glue it in. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I am gonna mark out where the magnets sit, just so I'm not painting over this part. There we go. There's one. And trying to match it up as best I can. There you go. There's 2. All right. Now to paint all around that, and then we'll cut that out at the end. Hello. Okay, this is now fixed. Thank goodness. I was a little worried there because I had to stab a hole through the wings in order to thread some elastic through, but I don't even think you can see the elastic. I've been hiding it with like the puff sleeve, but the elastic is right there. And I know you can't see it on the wing either, so that's a good thing. But yeah, now these wings are up and they're held up properly and they feel really good. So I'm glad I'm done with that. I did notice something with the bodice though that I need to fix. I need to glue like just the sides of this little rose so it stays in there because it keeps popping out wanting to fall over. So I am going to do that, but I just have a little bit left. I'm almost done with this project, but I'm really glad I was able to fix this part and still make it look good. So yeah, we're on a roll here. Alright, Suigintou's sword is not too difficult. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to use all the materials that I have right here. I'm going to make it work. I really don't want to sand too much or anything. So, yeah, I'm going to put everything together on that wooden dowel right there, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so what I did is I took the stick and I just kind of drew out the pattern of where I want it. It's a very rough pattern, but I'm going to fold it in half and cut it out, see where we're at. I just mostly need this piece and this piece, and then this piece I'm going to wrap in my, I don't know what this is. I know it goes in boxes and it's like a cushion for whatever product is in the box, so I'll wrap the handle in that, and then I'll wrap the handle in foam. The little, and then the little diamond piece I'm going to wrap in foil, and then I'm going to cover it with Cosplay foam clay. And then after that I'm going to figure out these two pieces, because they're going to be foam, but one of them is going to be a thicker one of them is going to be a thinner one. I just got to figure it out and play around with it. So we'll see where we are from there. It's just a lot of me wrapping up stuff. Now I know it looks like a mess. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm cutting out the really thick pieces that are going to go in the middle, and then cutting out the center of the middle, so I can just kind of sandwich the thicker pieces in between and then have a thin piece on top. I don't know how much sense that makes. I think it makes more sense with this piece right here. So as you can see, the thicker pieces are going to go on the inside. There's that little slit, and then this piece is going to go on the top, and the dowel will be in the middle of it. So that's where all the pieces are at right now. Right now I think what I'm going to do is start gluing and start putting things together. I know once I glue and put things together and start actually like assembling the sword, it'll look better. Right now it just looks like a jumbled up bunch of pieces, but yeah, I'm gonna keep on working on cutting out stuff. I hope this explains what I was talking about a bit more. But yeah, I basically used all scraps and trash and everything to put this thing together. I mean, honestly, all you really need is a wooden dowel. It helps out so much. And then just putting things over it and together. So once I start putting like these pieces over it, it'll look more like a sword, and putting the little details on it. Right now I'm just gonna glue everything over it and then see how the edges look, and then see what I need to do with the foam clay, because once I put the foam clay on, I have to let it dry, so I can't do anything further. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'll get back to you guys once I try to do those things. I might do the foam clay on camera. We'll see. Okay, the sword is all done now. I know it looks a little weird. It's not painted yet, and the foam, a lot of the foam pieces like the wings and that little piece and the cross, they were just trial and error. So if you do a project like this, what I do is I just cut out pieces and see what looks right and then just glue it on. But you don't have to do it that way. That's just the way I do it. Anyway, we're gonna now Mod Podge this piece. Hello. And then we are going to paint it. You guys, the sword is finished. I'm not really too happy with the paint job. My paints are really old and I should have went through them instead of just slapping paint on. But you know what, it's done and it's a prop that I could use, and it didn't cost any money, which was the good thing. I already had stuff and I just kind of used what I had. But anyway, This project's almost finished. Let's get to the last part. Okay, I found a strip of scrap fabric in my scraps, and I'm going to use it to cut out the ruffle because it's basically the length I need for the ruffles on the little sock piece. So I'm just going to cut that out. I'm going to sew both of these pieces together. I'm going to hand gather it, and then I'm going to put the ribbon on and bead the ribbon like I was beading before. Where she puts her little pom-poms on her feet and she almost forgets about them, but she puts them on. This is kind of like that scene, so. And with that, guys, the project is done. Okay, here's the final reveal. You guys. This is the reveal. And oh my God. I can't even explain in words how giddy I am. How absolutely giddy. Let me show you guys everything like close up. Start with the shoes. Very, very cute. Now the skirt. The bodice itself. And then the whole neck piece. I wasn't really sure about the makeup, but honestly, I kind of like it. I think I went a little maybe too dark, but she is gothic, so maybe it works. I don't know. But neck piece, everything, and the head piece. headpiece. And then lastly, my sword. Which again, does not look terrible. Now it's with like the whole ensemble, it doesn't look awful. Wow. Just wow, you guys. Wow. I am so thrilled. All right, you guys, that is it for this journey. Thank you for joining me so much. I am so thrilled with this cosplay. I did not think it would turn out as good as it did. I think this is some of my best work. Like, I really do. I think it's some of my best work. Again, I hope you guys keep joining me for these cosplay builds. I really enjoy doing them. I hope that you guys like them too. Please comment down below if you do like these or not. I know I go into depth on a lot of them, and it does take me a really long time to get some of them finished, but you know, there was just so much detail in everything that I do, and I do try to like make everything as accurate as possible. I know you don't have to be accurate or anything, but I really do try in everything I make, and even if it's a small project, I do put my all into it. So anyway, thank you so much. I have so much more planned for next year. This is the last one for this year, but anyway, I'll see you guys later and have a good day. Bye guys!